Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Homestead with Joe. Starting a new year off with a new channel name. This is Wednesday, December 24th, Christmas Eve. How y'all are? Just wanted to put out a video real quick. I didn't get to do one over the weekend. Didn't get to do live stream like I had planned on, but I had forgotten about other commitments. This is a very busy time of the year. Not only just, with all the shopping and everything, but we've got friends, and family and all the things we have to do, parties to attend and host. It just, it gets away. And I'm one of those people, I've said it many times, I do not videotape my family or my friends or any of those kind of functions. That's just for me and us. That's not a YouTube thing. And a lot of people, they're uncomfortable being on camera. They don't like it, all that. So I don't even, when I'm with my family or with my friends, the camera's in the bag. It doesn't even come out. So there's not going to be a whole lot going on. And I had gone out to St. Bernard Acres Saturday morning. I'd planned on being there and doing a live stream, but I forgot about another commitment Saturday night. So, it was Saturday night busy, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, Monday night, last night. Today we have nothing. Today is like trying to catch up on everything. And then next week is the same. There's all the New Year's stuff. There won't be much content from the weekend, I don't think. There's going to be a lot of rain. I can show you that. But that would be about it, I believe. What's been going on? What can I catch you up on? The job at Lowe's. I didn't get it. I don't understand it. Gail and I were talking, and even before we got married, I am pretty sure that this was the first time I ever filled out an application, got an interview, and did not get the job. That has never happened to me. I've gone into places to convince them they didn't know they needed me, but by the time I left, I had convinced them why they needed me and let them know that they did need me, and they hired me. That's how I'm used to doing things. I have never not gotten a job after an interview. I don't know. I'll be 69 next month, so I had a pretty good run there, when I was in my prime, let's put it that way. And it was going to be in the plumbing department. So, I don't know plumbing yet, but I figured I'd fit right in. I figured that was a shoo-in because nobody there knows what they're doing. You're just there to hopefully show people where something is. But, I really thought I had that job. But if I had, they'd have called me yesterday and told me. So, it's no big deal. I'm not that worried about it. It's weird to acknowledge that I didn't get a job when my entire life I have. I'm second guessing how I did at the interview. Was I too honest? Because now, at my age, I don't care. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I just tell them how I feel. So maybe I went a little bit too far with my honesty. Who knows? But yeah, it just, what a shame. I mentioned, in fact, I only wanted the job at Lowe's for the discounts. And I would get the inside information of when things were being closed out, or, they used to have these deals. They'd have a whole pallet of lumber that was like 10 cents on the dollar. And I always bought that kind of stuff, and I figured, okay, if I'm working there, I can meet the people and, kind of like get an inside track on when they were doing that kind of shit. But I guess I don't get it. I'm stuck. The employees only get a 10% discount. I mean, I get that with my veterans discount. But the employees get the discount on lumber and electrical, which is what I need, So I was kind of looking forward to that as well. What are you going to do? What else is going on? It's Christmas Eve. And I don't know how y'all are. Gail and I are in our 60s. We're retired, somewhat. And I got to thinking about this. I don't know how other people are, but I don't believe in Santa Claus anymore. My kids, my 40-year-old and 36-year-old kids don't believe in Santa anymore either. I think the puppies still do. Rex and Bentley, I think, still believe in Santa Claus. But it's at our ages, all of our ages, the problem is during the year, if there's something we want, we buy it. If there's something we need, we go get it. So we're all sitting around for the month of December. Well, what do you want? What should I get you? What do you want? I don't know. There's, there's a lot I need, but not a lot that you need to buy. I mean, that you can buy. I need a toilet. I need a vanity. I need a shower stall. I need more drywall, that kind of stuff. And that's not exactly Christmas presents, if you know what I mean. It's like I think if we had grandkids, it would probably be a lot different. Then we'd be more festive and have the tree up and shit. We weren't even concerned that much about a tree. Alex put a tree and everything up. Alex still wants to, I guess. But yeah, we have plenty of presents for each other. But it's just not the same without the kids around. I think the dogs got more presents than the rest of us did because we all bought stuff for the animals. But yeah, it's like, we buy what we want all year long. So, we're sitting around and say, well, there's nothing I need. There's nothing really I want. And I don't want to buy things or have things bought for me that the last few years I've noticed it even more. We buy things that don't even get used. Well, they wind up 3 months later. Well, take it out to the barn. There's so much stuff out in the barn now we're trying to downsize as it is. Why are we buying more stuff? I've got 2 sheds here in Wheeling that's just full of stuff. And some of the stuff from last year's Christmas. It's one of those things they've made it to where you feel obligated. I don't like feeling obligated. If that makes any sense. I don't know. But I'm not one of those people that gets depressed during the holidays by any stretch of the imagination. And for other people and our friends that we buy gifts for, that's a totally different thing. That's really cool that we can do that. But when it comes to each other, what do? We'll go out to dinner, we'll have a good time, It just, you gotta, at our age, especially, you gotta worry about, birthdays and Christmas and Sweetest Day and Valentine's Day. They just kill you with all this shit. We don't need it. Let's see, what else happening? Oh yeah, I wanted to mention with the parties and stuff and being all busy. This is kind of weird, but I'm going to brag a little bit, if you will. I don't know what you call it. But I remember all the way back in my early 20s in Houston when I was single, right? When it came to parties, I was always on the A-list. People like having me at parties, because I'm funny, I'm witty, And I like to party. That was always a problem with me and Gail because Gail is very antisocial. Me, I got to be the center of attraction. I mean, I'm in it. Most good parties, the best part of it winds up in the kitchen. And everybody's always looking for me, right? I'm in the middle of the kitchen, just everything. Gail's like over in the living room, sitting on the couch with, a couple other antisocial people, And she would get mad at me because I wouldn't go to the party and sit on the couch with her. And finally she figured out I wasn't able to sit there. I have to be, like I said, in the middle of it all. That's just the way I am. And I don't get drunk, but as I drink, I get funnier. I get happier. I've never been one of those kind of people that drinks and gets mean or turns antisocial. The more I drink, the freer I get, the less inhibited about anything. So yeah, I've been very proud of that I've always been the one everybody wants to invite to a party. I'm always proud of that. And that's part of the problem with this time of year. You got somebody up you got to go to. And then host your own. I mean, it's kind of crazy at times. But I do like it. I'm not going to bitch about it. But that's about it. I mean, after this weekend, I'm going to be out at the cabin. Hopefully, I can get some stuff done. I don't know yet. It's going to be raining a lot, so I'll show you the rain. We did get, I went out there yesterday. I had to pick up a couple of things yesterday. We woke up yesterday morning. There was no power in the living room. None of the breakers were were blown. But none of the outlets in the living room worked. The ceiling fan didn't work. And no breakers blown. And I'm not an electrician, right? So, I mean, I got to messing around. I got meters out, I got all my stuff so I could act like I knew what I was doing. I didn't want to have to call an electrician. But I finally traced it down, in the meter box. I took the pin that, you can see what has electricity in the wires and what doesn't. And I found the breaker. Nothing in this breaker box is marked. There's no, and the way they wired this house, the living room circuit also has outlets for the bathroom upstairs, all the way at the end of the hallway. The circuit that has electricity here in the dining room also controls some of the electricity in Alex's bedroom. So I don't know how they wired this shit. It's all messed up. But I found a wire that, even though the breaker was on, had no power coming out of it. So I had another breaker. For some reason in that box was an empty 20 amp breaker. Never had any wires hooked up to it. So I replaced the breaker with the one that was there, and everything came back on. So I guess that breaker just, I think what happened, the surge protector that has the TV and all that on it, I think that blew because everything came back on except the surge protector. So I think it blew at some point during the night. And I got, buy a new surge protector. But we figured out what it was, that was the excitement for the week, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to try to get out there and do some stuff. I don't know. I just wanted to get on here and make sure I wished everybody a Merry Christmas. A lot of you people mean a lot to me. You've been around for a long time, and I really appreciate it. I like to keep you guys up to what's going on. Like I said, I didn't get to do my live stream. I didn't get to do any videos. But I wanted to make sure that I came on here and wished everybody a Merry Christmas. And for those that don't believe in that, a Happy Holidays. I don't care whether you follow along with Merry Christmas or not. I hope you have a happy holiday if you don't. But we celebrate Christmas here. and we want everybody to have a Merry Christmas. So from my family to yours, Merry Christmas, everybody. I will see you after the holiday. Peace out, everyone. I'm out.